They finally done it, boys. The madmen finally done it. They've actually gone and updated their beta. Well done, Double 11. Well done. You've done it literally the day before the beta was meant to end. You've done your second update to fix huge amount of issues that have stopped people being able to play for the last 2 weeks of the beta's life. But guess what? There is some good news alongside my salty and snarkiness. The beta has been extended. It will now run until the 14th of May. I've been telling you guys for days, literally in what is known as the Third Reich Discord, the official Rust console Discord, that the beta I'm sure would be extended because of all the problems they had and the slowness in getting these updates out. And guess what? I'm right. You're going to get extra time to go ahead and hopefully play this game and actually have some enjoyment out of the beta, which you spent extra money to gain access to. If you don't know by now, my name is Jade. Welcome to the Rust News. Quick, powerful, insightful. Let's go through everything you need to know about the update today and everything else about the extension and why there are still some game companies out there that don't want to take all your money and don't charge more just because it's coming to console. So here we go. This is the beta patch 1.1 to 1.2, everything that's gone inside it. The desync astral projection invisible player bug has hopefully been fixed now, although there is still some focus on it. Apparently the bug was caused by a client thread responsible for updating player positions, crashing and burning, and then due to an error with a particular object that failed to spawn correctly. This apparently has something to do with quarries, and this is why you saw maybe players running or flying around on certain maps that had quarries. The rest of the game continued as normal, but your new position was not being sent to the server. Affected players would be able to sneak around the map, raising invisible hell and seeing all kinds of strange symptoms. It's taken nearly 2 weeks to fix that one, guys. 2 weeks of playing a beta when players have been running around invisible, killing your asses. Transition to new server infrastructure. A considerable number of bugs we've seen were caused by server performance issues. We're currently testing out a new configuration of server hardware to improve things. Now this is pretty common, I won't dog them out for this. Lots of games like Ark, Conan, DayZ, I now will always mention them games because they're the ones that use these types of servers or systems. They do struggle sometimes, and you have to take the server boxes that they're in and move it all over wholesale because there is some sort of configuration issue. And when that happens, usually your servers are down for hours. Fix poor performance on Xbox Series consoles. This was caused by a configuration error with our backwards compatibility mode. Strafe changes reverted to closed beta behavior. So apparently during closed beta it seemed to be working well, but they decided to change it and add a little bit to it. The new behavior was designed so that quick strafing would not be used to a competitive advantage during firefights, but the clunky feeling of the slowest strafe was not well received. Consider it a failed experiment and we won't touch it again, we promise. I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing to say. Never box yourselves in, D11 devs. Just simply say you may revisit it in the future, because you never know, it might work out that actually faster strafing hasn't always been the best thing. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. Auto sprint fix. Some control configs had broken auto sprint, but the fix didn't make it into the original pre-order build due to time constraints. This fix is now present. Full damage when logged out. An issue with offline physics processing. It's the latest in the death by Full Damage saga. This particular problem was allowing players to fall under gravity but without any collision checks. In a brief period where the player had just logged in but loading screen not yet dismissed. So if you've been logging in, finding you've been killed by some sort of drop, well that's why. It wasn't because you had decided to go asleep on the edge of a cliff. Cannot play stores. I've seen so many comments, guys, on my channel, on my videos about this. It's probably one of the biggest ones I've seen, and hopefully now it has actually been fixed. Missing footsteps, SFX while wearing shoes. No more meta of getting a DB, you little fucking scrubs, and just running up on people and shooting them without them even realising. Go ahead and be a little trash guy, hanging around outside doors, camping. But you should still be able to hear players if they make a mistake and they're not crouched or they're coming up towards you. At the moment, players were literally just getting owned by anyone as long as they had shoes on and something quick and easy like a DB. Missing furnace and SMG skins, but nothing about yet the actual shotgun skins. The DB still has a white skin on it for most people. So if you've been seeing that glaring white box of your furnace or your SMG, hopefully it's been fixed now. And it does mean that hopefully there won't be an advantage for players. You could spot someone with an SMG from miles away by the way that it literally shone on their back. They've removed the NDA disclaimer and stream blocking on PlayStation. Again, considering this is meant to be an open beta, like people have paid for it, you should be able to share screenshots and stuff like that. I find it highly, highly cynical that they've only just removed that from the screen, or removed the actual way that it was saying you couldn't actually stream stuff on PlayStation and Xbox. It's almost like they didn't want everyone sharing what the game really played like. Fix server list paging, filtering and searching. This has been an ongoing job since the last beta, since the search filter functionality needed removing. Server side to work correctly, it's now ready. Fix the crash when browsing servers. It was caused by logic that pings the servers. Fix crash when setting a server as a favourite. So hopefully this is all fixed now. You should be able to set your servers as favourites. What you should have been doing is looking for your little star. I've not been able to do this, but I did see that my server did have a star highlighted on it. And that was something that's definitely been easier, just to scroll through the server list and find my server that way. And then the last one, fix player walking around on a deaf screen. Again, another issue or problem. It's been fixed now. Hopefully now it means that PlayStation as well have all the crashes resolved, the most of them anyway, and the Xbox crashes, which weren't as big as the PlayStation ones, but hopefully they've all been fixed too. Now, what hasn't been fixed and what's going to come in the next update, can't identify who's talking in chat, non-friends can be heard talking when friends only privilege is set, and the server wipe time display actually working. Aim assist merge from features branch, it looks like that's not making it to this one. It is going to be available on separate servers. So scrub lords like me, I'll be joining them special servers because I want all the help I can get because I'm an old man. Jittery linear movement, that's not going to be fixed till next update. Player report tool should use profanity filter, not till next update. Pumpkin corn related optimizations. Apparently there is some sort of meta at the moment where you can lag out the game literally by planting pumpkins as soon as the player tries shooting you. Red X on trees disappearing, it's still ongoing, they're hoping to get it fixed. Skin loading hang, team system issues, translations update, voice quality quality improvements, face punch credit information is going to be added for patch 103. Look through walls exploit is still available for you to go and exploit right now. And they haven't re-enabled voice chat. For fuck's sake, 11. Apparently, I mean, it must have been available during the closed beta because they've said they're re-enabling it. They've took it off, obviously, for the first 2 weeks. They've not really given a clear, solid reason why they did that. Thank God PlayStation has bought Discord, or has got some shares in it. We'll actually be able to have a proper conversation now, because there is some maybe lag between the two platforms when talking. I've noticed this in other cross-player games. Maybe 11 have actually fixed that. Maybe 11 have solved that problem, but every other game I've played that's got cross-play with chat, there's always been some sort of big delay, like talking 7 or 10 seconds, hearing someone on Xbox or PlayStation talk in actual proper, local chat. And then, yeah, the top 3 crashes for each platform. It just says that they're still working on it, although it says it's fixed up here and it's been actually added to 1.02. And that is pretty much it, guys. There's a bunch of other stuff here as well, but they still haven't really associated what was actually causing the problem. The performance drop around Dome, they're still looking into it. They think it's something to do with the actual art, so the assets that are causing an issue. But yeah, no real consistent answers on that one. And on top of that, they've still got these bunch of fixes that should be going into stuff soon too. Staying too long on the server list crashes your game. If you hit an animal, all sounds disappear. After blue screen, a leaving server will not show up in. Suicide doesn't work. When holding down squares, it doesn't kill your character. It says it's been updated May the 4th, but I do believe this is just stuff that they've actually fixed, but maybe hasn't made it into the patch today. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of hard to tell. They've said they've fixed it. Some of them sound like the ones that they said are in the patch notes. It's still listed here as active. And then of course, loads and loads of other stuff going on. Okay guys, let me take you through something else now. And part of my big argument and my biggest disappointment and why I've gone a bit ham on criticising D11 is because their pre-orders nonsense. If you don't know by now, they kept the beta locked behind the most expensive editions of the beta. Not many betas do that. Not many games have done that in years. They've added test servers in the future, which are completely free on PC as long as you own the base game. For every survival game out there, there is not a single one that charges you extra to gain access to testing servers. They've put that behind a more expensive edition of the game. You can verify all this yourself. Go and check out the pre-orders on either the Xbox or the PlayStation store. They've given 3 days early access, and I don't care what any of you numpties say, that is an advantage and you're paying for that advantage. And now you guys have realised that what happens on wipe day, you got bases up straight away because people have got all their blueprints on day one. Good luck to anyone joining them servers at launch, and people will be joining them servers even if they don't really want to. you can guarantee the amount of people trying to play this game means that the server's going to be full. So all the people that have been running around for 3 days are going to have easy pickings as soon as everyone joins their server. They're keeping these servers open, they're going to open new ones of course, but them servers will still have an advantage. Whether or not it'll be a week, 2 weeks or a month, they'll still have an advantage, and they get to keep their blueprints, which we've had no confirmation they're going to be wiped on a monthly basis. On PC, most of the servers and the blueprints actually don't wipe every month, they carry on and on and on. Now that may have changed maybe because of the tech tree, or it will change, but we don't have the tech tree on console, so I can't imagine they're going to wipe the blueprints that regularly. Not until the tech tree is implemented, which they have said they're going to work on as soon as possible. And then you've got the usual bollocks of skins and coins to buy skins. And that's really my point. That should have been what was separating the extra editions. The base edition should have got the beta. The base edition should have got testing branch access and not actually putting it behind paywalls like these. No other game does that, guys. No other game. Rust is not a $60 triple premium game, people. Get that into your skulls. And now let's take a look at another game. This is a PvP game. This is Hood, Outlaws and Legends, which I'm going to get behind. Do you know why? Because this is a British developer as well, who aren't trying to price and absolutely steal money from players. If you pre-order their game, you'll get 3 days early access for the cheapest version of the game. You'll also get a brand new skin pack. This game's going to be available on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and obviously next gen as well. And get this as well, their PlayStation version of their game is cheaper than it is on Steam. $24.99 for the standard pack, and you get all of that stuff. And then take a look at the store page. I have got early access to this, so I'm going to show it to you guys as well. $26.99 on PC. So a big fuck you to everyone that says that games have to be more expensive on console. They don't have to be more expensive. It's down to developers, or publishers I should say, being greedy motherfuckers. Now these guys aren't big. They've got publishing help, yes. Focus are fairly mid-sized table group now, but so are Double 11. They're only a little bit smaller than them really. They've both got experience of being around the games industry for years, and you've got one company that is still doing battle passes and skins, and they're making it more expensive version. But you get the idea. This is pretty much in reply to all the fucking simps that answer, it's a $60 game, all games on console are that price. No, they're motherfucking not. Ark, Rust, DayZ, none of them games are 60 quid at the moment. You can simp all you want for these developers or greedy publishers. The gaming industry makes billions. It's the biggest one going. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than movies combined. You are a customer. You deserve to get the most out of your money. And would you really sit there and say that 2 weeks of a beta where you only got 2 updates and the second update was literally the day before it ends was good value? Get out of here. I ain't in the mood. I ain't playing today. So yeah, my point is, don't be such simps, people. It takes you 2 minutes to do a bit of research and look around the world and look around other games that are doing a great job and other games that aren't trying to rob you of your money. Now, all that said, what do I actually think about Rust? Obviously, I gave you my impressions. I said it ran like absolute dog shit on the Xbox because of the frame rates, and obviously on the PlayStation 4 with all the issues. But to be fair, it seems like a lot of them issues have been resolved with the PlayStation updates, hopefully. Although I don't think necessarily I've seen an improvement on the Xbox base one with FPS. Will they get that resolved by the time the full game launches? I really hope so. I do, because most of you guys play on an Xbox One or PlayStation 4. And I do think that is something that can get improved, although don't ever expect even 30 FPS or 40 FPS on an Xbox One. I think we'll be lucky if you can get up to 30 FPS. But on next gen consoles, it's apparently really good. I showed you guys that I had one disconnect on my Xbox Series X or the Xbox One when I was playing. It was simply the frame rates that was such atrocious crap. So yeah, go and check this game out. I'm going to get behind it. I've got loads of videos, content coming. It looks pretty decent. Team versus team, stealing loot, and obviously taking out other players. Also, FYI, the patch that just went out did cause the server list to refresh. So if you logged on and it wasn't showing any servers, just wait a few minutes. It should have been resolved by now, but all the servers were removed from the server list and then they're going to be added back on. And hopefully it means they've all been upgraded and you're going to see much better performance. And so yeah, it's probably the right thing to do. Extend the beta, give players more time. But again, they're not doing this just out of kindness of their own hearts. I actually think they've looked around and hopefully my videos have done the job and put off players from actually buying the pre-orders. Because I really think they've probably done this on purpose to get players to jump into it even more. People will still be excited that have seen some gameplay going around, and even with all its problems, I know so many of you are hyped. I know so many of you don't like it when I'm criticising them and you just want to play the game and get info and stuff. But this stuff's important to me. Will it remain important? Probably not. Once the game's out, I'll just be focusing on how well it's performing. And I'll balance that against how much fun I'm having and whether or not they're doing a good job. If I see an improvement, if I see that update in the game quite quickly and they're talking to their fans quite quickly, I will report that in a positive way. But everything they've done throughout this beta has been pretty poor compared to any other game I've really ever covered. And it's just so surprising. I thought they was going to do big business. When I first started talking to them and stuff, they seemed like they was on the ball, professional, and I guess they were kind of just the usual corporate greed kind of motherfuckers. They literally only just let everyone know at around 7 o'clock about this beta extension. It's not the way to go. The night before the beta is meant to due to end. It's just really poor going, especially after hours after an update as well. It's just like making everyone wonder what was going on. But it's there. Enjoy it if you're in the beta already. You've already used your hard-earned money. Commiserations to anyone that didn't pick it up because they thought it was going to end pretty early. And yeah, I would still say please save your money. Wait till the full game comes out. Don't spend extra money on a pre-order just for 2 weeks that may have shit ton of problems still, as you've already seen. And that's it, I'm done. I'm going to be back with some live streams. I was going to live stream the last day of the beta tonight, but who knows, we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, expect some streams from me, and we'll see how it performs on the base consoles now. I'm going to try that again, show you guys how it runs on an Xbox One, the PS4 Pro, and an Xbox Series X. Until next time, people, take it easy. Laters.